Thanks for coming back again. All right, so let's take a look further into our um as in parts, right? So parts are decimals and fractions. All right, so let's take a look at this. This is if we broke one of these into 10 equal pieces, right? So if this is the 10th and we split it up into 10 of these pieces, now we're looking at hundredths. So this is 10 hundredths. So you could basically pretend like we just turned a dime into 10 pennies. All right. So every time we move to, if we're looking at a place value chart, let's say that this is your ones, and here are your decimal places over here. Oops, I just moved my, okay, hold on. Okay, tenths, and then hundredths. Remember THS. All right, and then thousandths. We'll look at this with clearer writing in the future, I promise. All right, so as you can see, this is 1 in the ones place. If we split 1 up, we get 10 tenths. All right, so basically every time we're moving this way on the place value chart, we're dividing by 10. So 1 divided by 10 is 10 tenths, right? A tenth divided by 10 is 1/100th. And then 100th divided by 10 would be 1,000th. I think I messed up when I said this part. So 1 divided by 10 is a tenth. A tenth divided by 10 is 100th. 100th divided by 10 is 1,000th. So remember, every time we move this way on the place value chart, we're basically dividing by 10. Just like every time you move that way on the place value chart, you're multiplying by 10, right? 1 times 10 is 10. That's why that's your tens place. All right? So remember, on this side is 10, this side is tenths. If you folded the place value chart on the ones, the 10 would touch the tenths. The hundreds would touch the hundredths, right? So remember, it's basically the same order going backwards. Ones, tens, hundreds. On this side, it'd be ones, tenths, hundredths. You know, next to the hundreds on this side would be thousands, which means next to the hundredths on this side is thousandths. All right, so we will use the place value chart more and more. But as you can see, they took 1/10 and they busted it into 10 pieces, so they divided by 10 and they got 1/100th. All right, so if we took that 1/100th and we divided it into 10 pieces, which is going to be really hard because we don't actually have a way to do that with our physical representation. Like our unit cube, like this, our base 10 block, I can't break this into 10 pieces, right? With this, I can replace with this for 10 pieces. With this, I can replace with 10 pieces of this, but this I cannot. I don't have a smaller piece. So in drawings you might see a smaller piece, but in real life you don't have thousands that you can mess with, because we would literally have to cut this tiny little cube into 10 equal pieces. All right, so once again, this is 100th as, oops, sorry, this is 100th as a decimal. This is 100th as a fraction. It has the same value. You would even say it the same. 1/100th, 1/100th. All right. So 1/100th, 1/100th. Both of those have the same value. They just look a little bit different. But fractions and decimals are like brothers or sisters. They are the same thing, but just look a little bit different. All right. That's not how brothers and sisters work, but still, they're like a family. All right. So sometimes you look like your family. So, where is my clear button? There we go. So let's look further into this. So if we split up 1/10 by 10, we get 1/100th. All right. Now, finally, the next part of this video should make it a little bit easier to see. They've kind of just been throwing stuff at you. So come back and we're going to look at this in the clearest way yet. All right. Thanks for hanging out. All right. I'll see you soon.